Hello everyone, so today we are going to start a chapter called differentiation, and in differentiation I am going to start with the differentiation from the first principle. So before I start, if you haven't subscribed the channel, please do and hit the like button if you like this tutorial. So let's start first with the dependent and independent variables. So let's suppose there is a machine. Here is a machine, and if you give some input, then only you will get output. So this input is independent. You can give any input like 100, 500, anything. So this is called independent, and your output always depend on the input. So this is called dependent. So your output depend on your input. So let's talk about the y-axis and the x-axis. So your x-axis is always called independent variable, and it is also, you can write as the input, and your y-axis is known as dependent variable because your y-axis is your output. Okay, so let's start with this graph, which is a straight line, y equal to 2x. Now there is a relation between the y and x. Okay, and that's what we are going to find out. So we can see that for every increase in x, there is a 2 times increase in y, and that is described by the slope of this line. And you have learned that how to calculate slope. So slope is always m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so this is the formula to calculate the slope of a line, a straight line. Okay, so this slope give you idea about what is the relation between the independent variable and dependent variable, and this slope is also known as dy over dx, which is the differentiation, and is also known as the rate of change. This is also known as rate of change. Okay, so hope you understand what is the difference between independent and dependent variable. So now let's start with the formula for differentiation from the first principle. I can say that, okay, this is the formula you have to use to find the differentiation from the first principle, but I want you to get the feel of this formula. Okay, so how this formula is derived. Okay, so let's suppose there's a 2 points, which is 1 and 1 is here. Okay, now let's say this is x value, and take a distance h, and right here, then this will be your x plus h. Okay, and this is for any function f of x. This graph is for a function f of x. So here you have to remember that h is very small quantity, so h is nearly close to 0, or it can be 0.001. Okay, so if this is x, then this value on the y will be f of x. So the coordinate of this is x comma f of x. Now what will be the coordinate of this? This will be x plus h, and you have to put into this function, then you will get f x plus f of x plus h. Okay, so we know the both coordinate, and we are assuming that this distance is very small. So let's find the slope between these 2 points. Okay, so now we are going to find the slope for this point and this point. Okay, so now the slope is y value, which is f of x plus h minus f of x over x2 minus x1, which is x2 is your x plus h minus x, and if you simplify further, you will get fx plus h minus fx, and this will become h because x and x will be cancelled out, and this is true only when h approach 0, and we write here limit. So this is the way you can derive the differentiation for the first principle. Actually it is the calculation of the slope when the h value is close to 0. So hope you understand how to derive the formula for differentiation from the first principle. Okay, now we will do some questions. So the first question is derive it. So I'm saying derive, which means differentiation. So differentiate y is equal to, or you can write f of x is equal to 5x minus 10. So first always write f of x, which is 5x minus 10. Now then find f of x plus h. So here what you have to do, you have to take the function and instead of x you have to replace it by x plus h. So can I write 5x plus h minus 10. So if you simplify this, you will get 5x plus 5h minus 10. Okay, so now we have the both thing, f of x and f of x plus h. Then we will write the formula. The formula is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x over h. So limit h tends to 0. Now in place of f of x plus h, I'm going to write this quantity, which is 5x plus 5h minus 10, and minus f of x, I'm going to write this quantity minus 5x minus 10, and you have to give a bracket over h. So let's further simplify this. If you simplify this, you will get limit h tends to 0. Let's open the bracket. So 5x plus 5h minus 10 minus 5x plus 10. So you'll see that plus 10 minus 10 will be cancelled out, minus 5x and plus 5x will be cancelled out over h. So if you simplify further, you will get limit h tends to 0 5h over h, and you will see that h and h is cancelled out. So your answer you will get is 5. So differentiation of 5x minus 10, you will get 5 as the answer. So hope this question is clear to you. It's very easy question. So keep in the mind that you have to first write f of x, okay, and then try to write f x plus h, and then you can use the formula. So let's try with another question, which is y is equal to x square plus x. So this is can be also written as f of x. So let's first write what is your f of x. Your f of x is x square plus x. Okay, now then write f x plus h, and that is equal to x plus h whole square plus x plus h. Okay, so let's simplify this further. If you do that, you will get x square plus 2xh plus h square plus x plus h. Okay, so now we have f of x, we have f x plus h. So we know that we have to take subtraction of f of x plus h minus f of x over h, and limit h tends to 0. Okay, so now let's do that. So here you will get x square plus 2xh plus h square plus x plus h, and if you take minus of x square plus x, you will get minus x square minus x over h, and you will see that this quantity will be cancel out, and what you're getting is 2xh plus h square plus h over h. Okay, so let's separate this, and you will get, if you separate, you will get 2xh over h plus h square over h plus h over h. And if you do that, you will get 2x plus h plus 1. Okay, now I have not written here limit h tends to 0. Now in the last, so this is simplified form, I have to replace h by 0 because h is approaching 0. So if you replace h by 0, you will get 2x plus 1. So this is your final answer. So you can see that this is a very easy method to find differentiation. Just you have to remember the formula for this, and first you have to write f of x, and then you have to write f of x plus h, and it's easy to differentiate any function. So hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel. See you in the next session. Bye.